Good hatch. See, here's our MO. Here's what we do. I don't know if we'll get the fish. We cruise downstream. We just look with our eyes. And we wait patiently as we float until we see a fish feed in near the shoreline. And then we cast at him. Hopefully only one time. And we get him on our first cast. Well, there he is. We're doing one of the most exciting pieces of dry fly fishing you can do. We're on a big western river. We're on the Yakima. We're fishing a caddis hatch. Got some important tips for you. Number one, we're on a river with big, fast currents, and the fish, when they eat caddis, are often really, really tight to the bank. They're eating emerging caddis, and they're also eating egg-laying caddis. The egg-laying caddis come right out of the sticks, right onto the water. We'll try to show you some really cool footage of the fish hidden right in the sticks. Okay, tips. Number one, accuracy is paramount. There's no time to flop a lazy cast in there and throw a mand and drift it downstream 10 or 15 feet. These fish, we're having to throw that fly just 1 to 2 to 3 feet right in front of the fish, spot on. There's almost no time for a mend. A couple of other tips. So practice your casting in advance. Practice is free, you guys. Rods cost money, practice is free. Number two, having the right rod for the drop. Extreme accuracy at close range is what we want. The best rod would probably be a medium fast action graphite 3-weight, about 8.5 feet, 7.5 to 8.5 feet. I'm using my butter stick because it's a joy to cast. It's a 7-foot 3-weight. Also very good for making casts really low to the water, underneath sticks and around little obstacles. A great little rod for that. Have a dedicated rod. 3-weights and light lines make great casts at close range. The other one is if you're boat fishing or fishing downstream on foot where you're angling downstream, stop your rod tip high. That allows immediate slack to the drift for the fly to travel just as it goes downstream. Next tip, make sure your first cast, when you put your crosshairs on a fish, make your first cast just this side of the fish. Don't slap the fly on them, don't line them, don't spook them, and by all means do not hang your fly on the bank or the brush or the grass on your first cast. Wait a little bit. If you're struggling for 10 or 15 minutes to get that fish to eat, that's when you start to push the envelope. Unbelievable. Took me, how many casts was that? How many casts do you think that was? 50 casts?
Maybe. That's a nice looking fish you got there.
That was 50 casts at that fish probably.
Wow.
Just one cast after another, after another, after another. I was inches away from that fish. So there were times the fish took a bug within 2 or 3 inches of my fly, and I had to use restraint. I couldn't yank it out of there because I would have spooked him. I was within inches of this fish numerous times. And I gotta tell you, the bend that this fish puts in this rod, that is awesome. But that was 50 casts probably on one trout. We're gonna do a quick look at this fish, just our quick glance. Nice big healthy Yakima rainbow. That was awesome. I didn't even get my camera out to get the hook up. Those fish are eating. We got one hooked up and they're eating the caddis as they're crawling off of that stick every few seconds. Right there. I don't know how well that's going to show up on video, but that is too cool. Right there on the other side of that stick, the caddis are crawling into the water laying eggs. There's 2 fish right there. There was a total of 3. Alright, go ahead and run it in a little tighter. He's right there. Ooh, there he was. Okay, cast over your right shoulder. Okay, 2 more feet of line at least. Let's catch the fish.
He's eating and eating.
Yeah, he's begging for our fly. Let's give it to him. He's eating every few seconds. All right, we got that pesky devil that was rising in there. Rising in there right against the bank. I already got a bunch of footage we'll show you, but that's more of our head hunting for trout on the Yakima River during the Mother's Day caddis hatch. We're not getting, I'll be honest, we're not getting a ton of fish, but man, they're fun. We just move downstream, sometimes 1/4 mile at a time, 1/2 mile at a time. We find a feeding fish against the sticks, and then we catch it. Right, Jim?
Right.
That's what we do.
Not easy.
Yeah, right. Not that easy, but
That's what it's all about.
it's extremely technical casting, and it's a good time though. We're not getting a ton of fish, but man, they're very rewarding when they're in against the sticks like that, sipping dry flies. Okay, that was exactly what we were just talking about, followed to a T. We cruised downstream in this caddis hatch, tons of caddis. Blizzard-like, we found our fish. They didn't eat the elk hair caddis we threw over it the first time. We very carefully laid a CDC emerger pattern, which we'd love to fish all the time, but it's just too hard to see while we're moving. And what was that, second cast, Jim?
Yep. Second cast.
Second cast with the CDC emerger.